Welcome everyone, it's Jean from Sew It Themes, and I am working on my Alice in Wonderland journal. And throughout this project that I'm working on, I plan to record little things that I do and share with you some of the ephemera and designs that I'm going to put into the journal. This is the cover, and it's beautiful, beautiful cover. I'm so excited to be working in this. This is, I think it was book was published in the 80s, pretty much. It's a little beat up, but it's got a beautiful cover. So I'm going to be working with this. And right now I am working on some altered playing cards because playing cards and Alice, they just go together. And this is the one that I have made in the past, or just the other day. Let's see if I can get it close enough here. And this is the one, or this is like the one that I'm going to work on today. And this is the back of it. I've sewed on some tea-dyed coffee stain paper so that somebody can write on the back of it, because the playing card, of course, has a design on the back that you couldn't really write over. So let's get started. I just got a deck of cards from the dollar store, you know, nothing too fancy or anything. And let me just pull one out here. The first thing you have to do, because if you notice, there's this really glossy coating on top of it. So I was told that you need to go in and sand it to scuff it up so that it'll accept some product on it. Now, I am not by any means an expert in mixed media. In fact, I am just getting my feet wet, and I'm just sort of like tiptoeing into it a little bit. There are people that just make beautiful work out of this, and they just put all kinds of stuff on it, and I just so admire that. But I am going to play it safe because I am such a beginner. I know that gesso, and I have worked with gesso. It is wonderful. It doesn't, you know, you can probably work with any gesso, but it's a wonderful product. And if you haven't worked with it before, you can kind of like blend, or like it's not like a solid white. So it just sort of tones down some of that brightness and blends it together. And of course, you can put on as many coats as you want. You can make it as opaque as you want. I do want the number in the card diamond thing to show through. That I really want. So I'm not going to be too intense on it. Just enough to kind of tame it down. And what I used for this card here, now you can use a napkin, and I probably will eventually do that. But what I used, and let me just clean my space up here. What I used was this vintage wrapping paper. And I can just barely remember getting this years ago, but it's like a glassine bag, if you can kind of hear it crackle. So it's not tissue paper in the sense that what we have today is, it's almost like a glorified Kleenex kind of. It's really soft. It's a lot stiffer than that. So this is what I used for the background of that card I've done. And I'll just put this over here really fast so you can see how you're able to see through it, just like a napkin. So I'm going to use this paper then for my cards to kind of give them a little cohesion. Now let me cut out a piece here. I can hardly see it myself. There we go. So I think I'm going to be working with this paper here. And that's pretty dry. This stuff dries really quite quickly. I don't have my heat gun, but I don't think I need it. I think we're all good to go there. Now I'm going to go in and distress it a little bit. I do like it somewhat distressed in here. Just a little bit in here. And it all kind of depends on the level of grunge you want to put on it. You could actually get inks and paint them on there and wipe them off. I've seen people do that. I don't want it to be quite that dark. I think that's about where I like that. And now I'm going to use a gel medium. And I think any gel medium will be fine. This is just what I happen to have. And I've been trying to use this. You could use Mod Podge, but I've lately discovered that the reason why my Mod Podge products feel so sticky for such a long time is because here in Florida we have a lot of humidity, and the gel mediums don't seem to do it quite like that. They usually seem to dry better, quicker, not remain sticky so long. So I've been trying to use those instead, especially for small projects like this. And now we'll put on this paper. Oops. There we go. Just stick that on there. Make sure I got all the ends in here done up. So for me this is good because I do want the number to show forth. And I am going to be putting something here, so this is working, but you may want to, like I say, distress your card more so before you put on the napkin or the paper, if you don't want to have that much to come through. And so I'm just going to put a quick coat on top of it, and it'll just need to dry. Now I have beforehand prepared another piece exactly like this so that it would dry for me. So this is it's done up just like the other one was done up. I have that number and the spades were real important to see because this is the image I'm going to use. And what I did was I went and printed out on paper, on a good quality copy paper. I printed these images out in black and white and tore them out, and of course distressed the edges. And you know, probably if I'd used coffee stained paper to print them out, that would have been nicer. But anyways, kind of went over it to age them a little bit with the distress ink. And this is what I'm going to use for the picture on this card. So I wanted the spade and 7 because one of these guys was a 7 and there was a 5 and there was a 2. Anyways, and then I got a page out of the leftover pages from the book, from this book, and I tore a piece of that out as part of my little background there. So I am going to just ink this up, or not, excuse me, I'm going to put some gel medium on this so that I can put down my first I'm going to put down my words. I don't want to cover up my spade, so I'll kind of like put it up there a little bit like that. Okay, make sure it sticks down. I had to watch a movie of Alice in Wonderland on YouTube yesterday because I'd forgotten a lot of the characters and a lot of the events that happened. And it was like so funny, and it's like, well, I never found her this funny. It must be because I'm getting older and actually getting some of the jokes that she has, or Lewis Carroll put into his writing. I'm actually starting to get some of the jokes. And then we'll put in this part here. just put a little on the back. So I plan to make several of these little playing cards, and that to be little journal cards throughout the book, and I think it'll be kind of fun addition in there. Okay, now this needs to, of course, dry, and again, that doesn't take very long to dry. And so I found this rose, little die cut rose. I'm thinking I might just put that in there because that's, you know, what they were doing. They were painting those roses. And we'll just distress her up a little bit. Maybe just calm down that redness a tiny bit. Calm it down. And let me see, find a place in here for it. Okay, and I think I'm going to glue this down. This is a cardstock, so kind of want it to stick really well. There we go. There. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. I am going to step away for a moment and let it dry, and we'll come back and finish it. Alrighty, it's all dried, and now I'm going to cut off this excess paper. And like I say, you really could have used a napkin to do this with. You could have, you know, really it would have been interesting maybe to use like even plain tissue paper, like a plain red or a plain white or something like that. Might even be interesting effect. Okay. And I'm going to do a little distressing around the edge, of course. And there we go. I'd like to know where all the ink goes. I just re-inked my pad, and I still feel like I have to really pound it to get ink out of it. Alrighty. And then I have some scraps of coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to stitch around here with a zigzag stitch so that, you know, this is, you really can't write on that, and this way a person will be able to use this for a journaling card. And I really encourage people to use your sewing machine because it's actually, I really like it better than gluing sometimes. It adds a lot of interest to it. It's easy, it's quick. You don't have to worry about the glue bubbling up on you. The only thing that I can tell you to always make sure that your glue is dried before you use it on your machine. That's the big rule that I follow. All right, so I'm going to step away for a moment and stitch around there. So I've stitched around the outside of there and attached the journaling card in the back. Might clip them a little bit there. And I have a little tab, so I just cut a little rectangle out from printed paper and then folded it in half, you know, kind of made sure it's what I wanted. And then I rounded the edges a little bit with a pair of scissors. Nothing too specific, you know, nothing measured exactly or anything, just sort of eyeballed it up. So we'll give it a little distressing here. And we can glue this on. to the card, like so. Oops, little thumbs here. And let's see, what the rose is. I might put it a little off to the side since the other one was in the middle. Okay, kind of eyeball it up there a little bit. There, sorry it was off camera there. There we go. And so there's the little card. I'm going to go in here and distress the back of it a little bit. Okay, very cool. So I have the second card done. So I plan to do a series of these and kind of place them throughout the journal. And there's a little cohesion with using the same background paper and everything. So there are my playing cards. Now there are so many beautiful examples. I hope this encourages you to look at other people, and so many talented people, much more talented than I am even. But this is a very simple way to do it. I found as a beginner this was easy for me to do, and I hope this inspires you to investigate even more ways of doing it. So I really thank you so much for viewing, and hope to see you back again as I work on something else for my Alice in Wonderland journal. If you want to see more ideas and more things that I put into the journal, then please subscribe to the link below, and hopefully we'll see you again. Thank you. Bye.